Hello, this is one of the more complex projects that I have on my website. Not so much that any individual part of it is that difficult. It's more that there's a lot of subcomponents, and at the end you assemble them together to make a complete project. There's also a lot of stock preparation steps in order to make the blank. This is going to be a Christmas ornament. This is a piece of black walnut. It's 4 inches long. It was 8/4, and I dressed it until all 4 sides were smooth and square, so I don't even know what size it finished out at. Just over 1 3/4 inches. I bored 1 3/8 holes crossing each other. I went halfway through from each face rather than going all the way through. And I have center punched each end, because the first step is to mount it between centers and turn a tenon on each end. I sanded the inside of that hole on an oscillating spindle sander, which is by far the easiest way I've found to do it. I've had about 4 different procedures to do that, and the oscillating spindle sander is by far the best. As far as getting the stock to this stage, the details are in my pictorial article on my website. I'm just going to go from this point on in this video. So I'll mount it between centers. At this point it doesn't really matter which, because I'm just going to turn a tenon on each end at this point. Eventually this will be the bottom of the ornament and this will be the top. I've offset those holes lower down because when I do the final mounting, I just want the extra space here away from the chuck. It's going to wind up being fairly spherical, so you could do it with those holes in the center of the block, but you might run into problems with chuck interference if you're working that close to the chuck. So I'll just turn a tenon on each end of that right now. I'm just going to use my 3/8 beating and parting tool. And I'll use a skew just to square up the shoulders of that. See how that looks? We get rid of the fuzz, we can see what it looks like. Alright, actually this one is slightly concave. I'm going to trim the outer corners back a hair. Alright, that looks better. It's better to have the corners a little away than in, just in case they interfere with the chuck jaws. You want the jaws seating right against that shoulder. Alright, so that's the between centers part of it done. I'll take that off and mount it in the chuck. Alright. Okay, first mounting, I'll mount it with the top towards the tailstock because I want to bore a hole right through the top end of that. The little hanger part, hanger medallion or whatever you want to call it, with the eye loop in it, has a 1/4 inch tenon on the bottom of it, so I'll drill a 1/4 inch hole through right on into the cavity. I don't think it hurts anything to have it come right on through, and then the hole will be there. I won't have to worry about doing it later. I've already got a 1/4 inch brad point bit mounted in the Jacob's chuck, and I'll just put it in the tailstock. I'll maybe slow that down. I don't like drilling quite that fast when it's going to be going through that much material. It gets too smoky in here. Try that. Back it out to clear the chips. When you're going to be drilling with the tailstock into a piece that's held in the chuck, it's a good idea, if you've got a swivel head lathe like this one, to take the time to fine-tune your alignment and make sure you've got that headstock right back on center if you've had it swung. Or even if you haven't had it swung, it can sometimes go out of alignment.